Check, check, check. Gotta check some volume adjustments right now, but hopefully everything sounds good. Let me just double check real quick. Volume. Yep. All right. So I haven't been online for like a while. Um, and every time I'm just trying to get ideas to see what kind of videos I'm gonna be dropping. A lot of it on YouTube is gonna be mostly related to like engineering and helping producers or artists get familiar with like this side of things, because making music as a whole is different. So at each level, if you're an artist, engineer, um, mixing engineer, because it's like a big difference. Um, I've been blessed with being able to do all of that, and over time, I've learned different things. And obviously, as an artist, there's a lot for me to grow and things that I could do better. But I feel like as an engineer and a mixer, I'm pretty much set to go. So today's video, I guess, is gonna be more on the topic of how to understand as a engineer or mixing engineer how to set up, a recording session, and as an artist, how to pretty much be able to communicate with your engineer, whoever's gonna be working on your music, and so that way you can better understand what's going on and or communicate what you have in mind. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. I'm only going to be here for maybe like 15, 20, 30 minutes max. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I kind of want to jump in here just because I haven't been online for a little while. A lot of the reason is, over time, like you get older, I get sick. Not often, but when I do get sick, I get sick like really bad. And so usually my recovery time usually it takes a little bit longer, especially after like not being sick for a while. And I'm okay right now, but usually it takes me like a little longer to be like comfortable with doing anything. Like sometimes I'm like struggling to just feel good. Um, definitely in like a month or so, I'm just trying to eat better, trying to exercise more, and hopefully that minimizes like that time that I'm like feeling not good. But yeah, I just wanted to come in here and drop some knowledge. Per usual, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of different content. I also make music, so check out the Spotify. And I'm working currently with a lot of different artists to mix their music and stuff like that. And I'm hoping to get more people involved, but as of right now, it's very tight knit. So if you want to, reach out to me for any services, just feel free to do so. Um, and we'll chop it up as far as like what you need and all that stuff. And I'm always here willing to help anybody in general that wants to get into it or needs help with like anything like that. But yeah, let's get into the video. Today I'm just gonna be going over like let's say kind of understanding as an engineer what you're gonna be setting up for the artist so they can be comfortable and whatnot. And a lot of the things that I'm trying to do is make it easier for you guys. So I've made this template available for free. It was part of my like 50 subscriber giveaway. So if you guys check that video out, it should be on the link in the bio. As usual, anything, just hit me up on the DM or on my Instagram. But as an artist, you want to be comfortable with being able to communicate what you need. And as an engineer, you want to make it easy for the artist to record and stuff. So this is a basic template that we have here. And again, this is the usual template that I use for myself. I have like a different one that I have currently, but this is a general one which hopefully is easy for a lot of people to build, just off of the fact that they have like different plugins that you might not, they might not be like a um, big step up as far as like price wise. So these are definitely plugins that you can acquire if you save enough. For example, Waves is always having sales. So for example, right now I think there's like a platinum sale which they're doing like 95% off. So if you guys check that out, you can get all these right now at a discount. And then there's a couple here that I use for like free. This you can check out free is by Slate Digital. The only one that might, you know, break the bank a little bit is this one, but this one's well worth the price. But if you want to do that, then go ahead. So a lot of the times when I'm trying to like session with an artist or anything like that, I want to make sure that everything is set up the way I want it. First thing, I always recommend just naming your project, so that way it avoids, losing any work if, let's say, your computer crashes, which hopefully it doesn't, but it happens every now and then. It's happened to me a couple times in my old place where I used to be, you know, working with the artist, and all of a sudden the power goes out. Usually during the summer, like things get like a little bit too much, and that happened a couple times. So ever since then, Control S. That's the first thing I advise any engineer or any artist that's working on music. Always save your projects under something automatically. Sometimes you get that untitled format, but I recommend you just save anything. Let's say, for example, today I saved it as a YouTube test template. That's just because that's kind of what it is. But if I had a beat, I would name it under the beat and then the BPM and all that stuff. Make it easier for you guys. But once that all set up, you want to make sure you save it. Next thing you want to do is obviously either build a template or have a template that you go to. In this case, I have mine. And again, I have another video kind of explaining that. So check that out if you need one. This one's available for you guys. The first thing I always do, I always want to make sure that the beat is loaded in. Whether it's a 2 track or stems. Stems is a little different because obviously, like, you're gonna have a lot more you know tracks here loaded for that. But in this case, I'm just loading up a stem. I have that ready. I have where I'm gonna record. The next step I would recommend is making sure that you have your interface set up. In this case, mine would be set up for, mic line in one, and you can tell because it's highlighted. Um, and a lot of this is Pro Tools based, but every DAW is kind of similar in that sense, where you should be able to find where your inputs are coming from, and obviously some inputs are named after, like, let's say, the interface or whatnot. But for the most part, if you just have one interface and you're not doing any external stuff, then it should be either a line one or line two. Basically that, and then the way to check that is just by pressing this. I don't have that mic turned on, but usually you'll see some noise here, and that'd be the first thing to do. Second thing is kind of understanding what your session is. Like, for example, right, so you're gonna have to be, as an engineer, aware of what the difference between sample rate and all that stuff, and even bit rate is, and audio formats. So we have Wave and AIFF, which is kind of similar. They're both lossless files. I believe this one's like a little bit larger in format, but Wave is usually the standard, I would say. And you always want to go that. On the export is slightly different because that's where you're gonna be able to select if you want like an MP3, things like that. MP3s I usually try to like send out if I'm sending like a demo or something for someone to hear. But I'm definitely not uploading a MP3 to, like, let's say, DistroKid or anything like that. But yeah, definitely the first thing you want to do is kind of understand what all this is, all the format for music is. So sample rate, 48 hertz kilohertz is pretty much like what I'm using currently. I used to use 44.1, and obviously just because it's a standard, but I have an Apollo Twin, so might as well take advantage of the sample rate, and that goes with any type of interface these days because they're pretty good. I recently got like a couple different ones, and one kind of blew me away, which I'll talk about it later. But you definitely want to start recording a little bit, or at least get used to recording in 48 kilohertz. 44.1 is still the standard and still doable, but I feel like it gives more fidelity to the recordings. Just take in mind it is going to be like a little bigger as far as like the file size, but anything that's different, 192 and all that stuff, in a perfect world you can go up that high. And definitely if I had the space for all that information and stuff like that, because again it goes up in size once you start going up. Same thing with the bits, and I'll explain that right now. But usually in a perfect world, 192 would be it. But a lot of people, they end up hearing the music and iPods, or like their phones, or like different situations where they're not in a studio environment. So at that point, it doesn't really matter. But I definitely want to take advantage of having, the ability to record in this sample rate. So I do. For the next part, this is gonna be the like the detail in your recordings, 24-bit, 32-bit float. 32-bit float, I try to like maybe record it if I'm doing like an album or something that I know I'm gonna be sending to like a mastering engineer where they might need this. If I over like extend my loud noise and stuff like that. So if I ever feel like okay, I need to send it out to someone or someone that actually has a professional studio for mastering stuff like that, which I don't, then I'd probably definitely export in this. But 24-bit is the way to go. It has enough detail for recordings and enough information for you to be able to like do all that stuff. This one I know for sure. If you ever like see any distortion or anything like that, this is gonna be able to like pull back even after you export. So this is definitely the way to go for mastering. But for what I'm doing, I'm pretty much uploading to like Spotify and like all these little, or not little, but big platforms where they're just cutting down on the quality itself. So a lot of it would just be like a lot of lost space, and I definitely don't want that. So I do want to work in a better sample rate, but that I'm okay with 24-bit. So that's a little bit background on that stuff, and let me jump into the next section, which is understanding your interface's power and capability. So that's gonna be under your playback engine. In my case, I'm using a Universal Audio USB again because I am working off a PC. I recently purchased a Mac Pro, which I finally was able to, and I also got an Apollo Twin X Thunderbolt 3, which is going to be slightly different. For this, if you're going to be recording any artists or anything like that, you're going to be able to like record in 128 samples. But I usually record as much as I can with the lowest latency possible. So I usually drop it all the way to 32. But if I start hearing any like noise or pops or anything, just basically because it's using more power from the computer and an interface, then I'll probably jump it up a little bit. I'll probably do max 64. You can still work in 128, but I'm already used to working in 64 sample rates. And what that does is decrease all like the uh, delay that you hear in your headphones if you're recording stuff like that. So a lot of people usually, if they hear any delay, the first thing I usually do, I want to make sure if my sample rate is or buffer size, I mean, is set to a good number. For this case, since I'm not recording right now, I'm probably gonna be able to extend this bigger, and this is usually helpful if you're mixing. Although this provides like a little bit more latency, just because it gives it's sending signal and allowing your computer to give any plugin more time to process. So this usually means that as you're editing, a plugin, you might have like a low delay if as far as how soon you can hear the change. But for the most part, if I'm mixing, I usually stick to maybe like if it's not a big file, I'll usually stick to 256. That's a good amount of room as far as latency for me to just be able to mix comfortably. My computer is pretty strong, so again, it all depends on your computer as well if it can handle it. And I highly recommend if you're recording an artist or you're doing anything like that, that you switch it to the lowest sample rate that you can. One thing also you're gonna notice a lot of these things. For example, this one in general is like bypassed. So, for example, if I'm recording an artist and I know I don't need these at the moment, maybe later once I start like recording more, then I'll just turn off all of these because I know I don't need the power, or like I don't need them on right now. So they're gonna relieve a lot of the processing power that my computer might have. So same thing, I just have the general thing, my export stuff, and then my vocal mix. So I'll be recording on that. Um, let's see if I'm missing anything here. Cache size, I've seen where like a lot of people lower this, and this provides like memory usage. So the higher value improves disk performance. Usually, if you're having any issues with clicks and pops, you might be able to move this around. I usually just put normal, just because again, I don't need anything, um, that I need to like do all that stuff. Like I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so Active Pro Tools Power Scheme. I don't know if I had that clicked. I'll probably go back and see the video because I honestly don't remember if I had that clicked or not. What else? After that, once you see, that you're ready to record, there's no latency. A lot of the latency usually comes from Autotune Pro or any Autotune plugin. But usually when I'm recording, I'm using low latency mode. Once I'm done recording and I'm ready to mix, or whoever's mixing my stuff, I usually just unclick that. And what that does is it just, it provides a little bit better quality for the Autotune. But for the most part, I'm recording with the smallest amount of latency possible, so that me as an artist or whoever's working on the song, they're not hearing any delay or anything like that. Other than that, that's pretty much like the setup. There's nothing here that I think I need to go back to. I guess just understanding what this means. A lot of people don't really get into detail as far as like what they have to do in order to like provide any solutions for like latency problems or whatnot. It's all over the internet, but still, a lot of people still learning. So this is helpful for you guys, so that way you guys can understand. And again, making sure that you understand what this is, and then making sure the difference between those. For me, it took a little while for me to understand it, obviously, because at first I was just producing music. Then I moved into like engineering for artists, and then I started making music myself. Once I heard, a lot of people like compliment, like, oh, you actually sound good. You can do this or you can do that, and I started doing that. But throughout the whole process, I kind of learned a little bit of everything, and right now I'm just fine tuning everything, like as far as like engineer, because I'm doing more of that. I am dropping more music consistently, and I'm planning to drop like an album by the end of the year. But right now, my focus is just making sure that I polish up on my engineering skills. Just because I feel like the artist side is a little easier for me to understand, a little not as much technical as it is for what it takes to mix your own music. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm mixing my own music, I'm producing it. And also I have my friends that are producing music for myself and like other artists. And it just gives me room for me to learn more, check out more plugins and things that I'm trying to use. But for the most part, this template that I have here is very basic. I have a lot of different plugins available to me once I get to that mixing stage. But usually I try to keep it very minimal for these, just because I know that all I'm doing right now is recording. Later on, if I start mixing, then I have ideas of background vocals and stuff like that for them. Then I'll start adding like different things. But for the most part, that's kind of what you want to do. Is you want to make sure you understand this, that. You always want to save your files. You always want to save every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, as much as possible, especially when you're making big changes. And you always want to make sure you're communicating with the artists to see what their ideas are as far as where the song is going to go. um Let me see if I could load up some stuff that I've been working on, as far as like, hopefully it doesn't mess up with the session. But for example, this one, it might be on the album, it might not, it depends. But let's just take a look at this. For example, this is a full song, and kind of consider this not as what I'm gonna use to record, but like a end, like a towards the end process of what you can expect to hear if you use this template and the different techniques that you do as an artist. So this is a song I'm gonna show off, and hopefully you guys could listen, or see if it has any issues. All right. Hopefully it's not too loud, because it is kind of like, let me turn it down a little bit, because it is kind of already at that mastering stage. Um, but this is Bourbon. This is one of the songs that is gonna be on my album. It's not finalized, but go ahead and check it out.
Lil' baby, what's the move? Tryna get my heart to you. Shawty, come on, make you move. I'll be from now to my tomb. Whoa, baby, baby, don't you dare turn me down. Let me take you down and you down. Baby, don't you dare turn me down. Let me take you down and you down. Whoa, gotta get on my dough. Miles eliminate vote. Order I break, I'm in cold now. On freeze, I'm cold. My mind is ready on go. I risk my neck, go. And everything I deserve now. Shorty like, hold up. Just make sure let this burn out. Sipping on that Henny or that bourbon. Liquid got you twisted, thinking you don't wanna miss it. What's the move? Tryna get my heart to you. Now, shawty, come on, make you move. I'll be from now to my tomb. Whoa, baby, baby, don't you dare turn me down. Let me take you down and you down. Baby, don't you dare turn me down. Let me take you down and you down. Girl, you deserve it. Shawty, you so fine, but see, baby, you not mine. Put that bottle down, down. Say it with me now, no. Turn that upside down and pour it to the ground. Let this love just drown.
Dope. Hope you guys like it, but it's not finalized. I mean, it's there. But a lot of the things that I'm going to be adding is just going to be a lot of more depth, just more ad-libs, more dubs in the background, just making it sound like a little bit fuller. It's like 75% there. I like the topic. I like everything about it. And I was working on that. I basically use this template here. So like, it's nothing different. I mean, definitely the vocal chain that I've used, I've shared it before. So, it's again available for you guys to check out my other videos. But a lot of things that I'm trying to do is just trying to make it like as far as easy for you guys to understand and me able to showcase what I could do with what I'm teaching you guys and getting it to that point where like, you can drop your own music and stuff like that. So this channel is mostly for artists, engineers, but you're welcome to kind of like see the process of like how I make some music. I'm gonna be definitely jumping in here and mixing music live sometimes, or even just dropping videos of how the process is already pre-recorded. I'm gonna see which one's a little easier because I know, obviously me right here dropping videos like this is kind of a little bit easier because I don't have to be editing anything afterwards. I just drop it how it is. You guys get to see everything raw and kind of get you guys to feel like, okay, this is actually, dope. Hold on, let me get my camera. Does that every now and then because it has to reset. I think it's like a 15-minute thing. Um, but yeah, this is Bourbon. This is one of the songs I'm gonna be dropping soon. I have a ton of other songs I could probably show you guys, but I don't want to give them out. I want to give you guys a chance to be able to like check it out once you, see the link for the album drop. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can get into, and hopefully I kind of touched in a little bit of how to kind of set up. Again, it all depends on the interface that you're using too. Maybe on another video I'll go over with how I connect everything, but for the most part, I know a lot of the engineers are already having like their setup and stuff like that. So you can definitely pull this off with any type of interface. Um, Definitely anything, although I could change my mind as far as like interface, because again, there is this interface which I'm gonna show you guys right now. Let me get that real quick. All right, so there is an interface that I recently purchased just because I wanted something mobile. And I had heard really good things about this interface, but I was just iffy because the price on this is very, very affordable, like completely affordable for anyone that wants to get started making music or recording and stuff like that. And then again, this is not a paid nothing. I don't, I'm not like getting anything from this, but this company gets a lot of slack for like a lot of the things that they do. Their products, they're always, in my eyes, are always competing with like the big, the big companies, and trying to make it affordable for artists, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it easy for you guys to be able to record and kind of learn as you go. I definitely started with very basic stuff, and now I have everything that I need right now. So I definitely want to help you guys, and kind of want to show you that you could do it with using very minimal things. So again, let me show you this particular one. This is by Behringer, right? I don't know if you can see that, but Behringer. It's a very small portable interface. This kind of blew me away because again, I didn't really believe the hype as far as like what I've seen, because I've seen a lot of. I was looking for like a mobile setup. Obviously I have my Apollo Twin, but this one's PC only, so I wasn't able to connect it to my Apollo. I mean my Mac. So I definitely have an Apollo Twin X now for it. But this little thing right here, when I started like testing it out and recording and stuff like that, I was kind of like surprised because the quality of this, of the preamp itself, and again, this is the Midas preamp version. Let me give you the exact name. It's a Euphoria UMC 24 HD, 204 HD. This little thing can record in 192 kilohertz, which is crazy. This little thing right here can record as far as 182 kilohertz. So if you're starting off, and the price on this is like 79, 80 bucks, like this is cheap, right? But the even the build of this feels good. I have another interface which I'm not gonna name, which costs around the same price, and I'm not too happy with it. I don't think I ever was happy with that, but it was just the brand name that like. But this little thing blew me out like away. Like I'm gonna be using this as a portable unit if I ever need to step out and I have to take my laptop. Obviously, I don't want to be carrying my Apollo Twin X everywhere because it's a valuable piece of hardware. But this, I like it, and obviously, I don't mind losing this if I lose it or whatever, or I don't even mind giving this to someone that needs it. So if you guys subscribe, I'll probably be able to give this away to a lucky subscriber. I do want to reach that 100 threshold, hopefully soon. So if you guys subscribe, I might do a giveaway with this little unit. As far as like other interfaces that I have, I might give them away, and a lot of different things that I want to do. But this right here is it. Like if you're looking for something that to start off, definitely, and obviously you don't want to break the bank with this, and this is it right here. It's the Euphoria UMC 204 HD. If you need more outputs, there's a smaller version of this, but I like to have multiple outputs if I ever need to route this to something else, like I have a Porta Studio here, so I might be able to route to tape and stuff like that. So I definitely want to have options. So I got this one again, $79 right here. This is super affordable for anyone trying to get into the to recording themselves, and even then, I wouldn't use it as much as like mixing because I can tell the difference between these. But for recording, this is all you're gonna need. If you ever like need a mix or anything, obviously try to learn a little bit before you do, but I would probably send it out to someone like me, that has a little bit more experience with mixing, and I can definitely do that for you guys. So if you guys need any mixing services, just hit me up, DM me, leave a comment. I always put down my Instagram, and you'll be able to follow me there. But this thing blew me away. You know, Behringer, you guys have been like crazy with the products, and this is old. This is not something new. It's just I never really took a chance to buy this even when I was starting. If I would have started with this, I would have been happy. And I recently did like a template on my Logic Pro because I got that eventually because obviously I want to be able to like show you guys how to do things in different DAWs, and I got it recently, and I'm happy with like the quality of it with using the Behringer, and I was like surprised because I was just using stock plugins. And again, it's probably because I've learned a lot of different things over time, and it made it easier for me to understand, how to set things up and all that. But definitely, if you're looking to get into recording or just even producing, I would say just get this little thing. You're gonna save yourself hundreds of dollars, and in the meantime, you can save up for a better interface and or other things like speakers or like room treatment, which is like you know my recommendation. But again, I hope you guys learned something in this video, and I hope you guys subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna be trying to drop more content on there. My Instagram is mostly for like my music, so I'm reserving like all the knowledge and stuff like that to YouTube. I'm dropping the YouTube videos as far as like mixing templates and all that stuff on here. But if you guys want to check out the music, you guys want to check out, the side of me as an artist, then go ahead and follow my Instagram and feel free to like shoot DM if you need anything, features or anything like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot of that stuff, just because I like working with other people. Like, there's no there's no way that I can just do everything, on my own and not feel like, you know, not in a sense, but every time I do, like, for example, a feature, I always feel like it challenges me because I'm working with someone, but at the same time, we're kind of like sparring with each other. Like, oh, hey, this is what I could do with this song, and this is what you could do, and that might even change the way the next song goes. So that's definitely happened with me where I felt like, okay, damn, like they got off on this one. Let me do better the next time. So it's definitely like a good thing for me. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it on that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. If you have anything that you guys want to learn more about or kind of understand here that I didn't go over, feel free to drop anything like a comment, and I'll get back to you. And but yeah, thanks. Amanda right now, Loki. I was just looking for something. But yeah, have a good night. I'll see you guys soon.